on the stories before, and I know there's one or two have, but I make no apologies for repeating it because I think it's really, really important. And to be quite honest, the story is very, very powerful and very strong. And slow down, eat your heart out, because this is a great story. Just before we do that, I'm just looking at the signs here on the grass. There's actually only a council that could produce something like this. Is the please keep off the grass. Very good. So, once upon a time there was a little town that was world renowned for building the most fantastic commercial vehicles. Tanks, trucks, buses, fire engines rolled off its production line in Leyland. These vehicles were built with care and dedication by the good men and women of Leyland to serve the nation. They protected, they transported, they moved people around, and they saved lives. One day in 1938, a shiny new fire engine came off the Leyland production line, ready to fight fires and save lives. Only 52 were ever built, and one, number 41, was particularly special. And this is the one that you can see here in place today. She was called, or she is called, Norma, and was the bravest, strongest and most courageous fire engine ever built. Norma has a 6-cylinder engine and a special steel mess turntable ladders which stretch over 100 feet long. Her shiny red paint cleaned, her black rubber tyres and wheels were proudly carried her to her. Now the script is going around. During World War II, Norma was part of a brave national service fleet of fire engines who were constantly ready and willing to protect the people and save lives. After the war, she continued serving and protecting people in Morecambe as part of the Lancashire County Fire Brigade, and then went on to work in the North East. Over many years, she proudly served. Her missions were many and varied. But Norma was growing old, and new, younger, faster fire engines, I think we've got one over there, were starting to take over her job. Sadly, one day, Norma's retired and put into storage. She was forgotten. For many years, Norma was lonely and alone in a storage shed. She was a sorry sight. Her paint didn't gleam, her rubber wheels and tyres were flat, her engine was tired and worn out, but luckily, for Norma, she was rescued by a mighty champagne called Tony White. Tony, as you heard, unfortunately can't be with us today, and we all wish him well. Tony Knight loved and restored Norma to his former glory. I won't get him eaten by a wasp. Tony wanted to set Norma free so people could enjoy her, and so he put her on eBay. Norma went to sleep every night dreaming of Leyland. Can you imagine that? Every night dreaming of Leyland, and wishing one day that somehow she would get home. Her fairy godmother came in the shape, and it says, a cheeky officer from South Ribble. I don't know who that can be, but I think he was stood here a minute ago. South Ribble Council, who had a strange idea of a life-size model to display on the gateway of Leyland. As many people will know, we have various gateway introductions to Leyland to highlight the Leyland heritage. With the help of this fantastic manager, Martin Ainscoe, and you've just heard what Martin has done, he bought the fire engine for us. Norma was brought back to Leyland. Norma was delighted to get back home to Leyland, and although she is no longer able to fight fires and protect people, she knew an important job. Every day, Norma now gives a warm welcome to the people who act as a reminder of the fantastic world-class industrial heritage of a little town called Leyland. And now many of its varied vehicles have been the backbone of this nation's industrial heritage for over 100 years. That is Norma's story. I'm sure it will develop more as time goes on, but that's it.